Let's bring in our our panel for much more on the Fed decision today. We've got former Fed Special Advisor Andrew Levin. Also with us, we've got Abigail Watt, Aberdeen Research economist. Great to have both of you today. Abigail, let me just start with you and get your take on what we heard from the Fed so far.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think we were expecting the kind of final hike to remain in the dots for this year. I perhaps think where we've maybe underestimated the changes was in that kind of, I guess, 50 basis point move up in the dot for 2025. I think that really kind of signals to 2024. I think that really signals to the markets this kind of higher for longer narrative. And I think this is the kind of line that the Fed is trying to walk between this kind of perhaps undue loosening in financial conditions too soon. And I think that's something that Powell's really going to have to try and walk the balance on in the presser later today.
Andrew, interested to get your take as well, just what you made of the Fed news here, what they did, what they said, and what do you see going forward?
Yeah, well, I agree with Abigail, actually. I think that the shift upward in the medium-term dot plot is actually really important. And I think the extent to which their statement today used the word solid to describe economic activity is a good word. The fears that the people had 6 months ago that we were heading into recession, I think, have really faded. So one thing the Fed is reluctant to do is to talk about risks. And I think that the truth is there's an upside risk to the inflation outlook. Their outlook and the projections today is still very rosy. They expect that by the end of next year, inflation is going to be down around 2.5%, close to their target. But we can think of lots of scenarios where inflation's still running at 4 or 5%. And then a question, I guess I'm eager to hear from Abigail what she thinks about this. Is the Fed going to need to do more in that scenario where over the next 6 to 9 months, inflation's not sort of stabilizing near their target the way they were hoping?